Very excited to have my next guest join us. They have a new project out called Silver Deliverer, which was dropped earlier this year and followed it right back up in September with more silver from those recording sessions. It is Aly and AJ.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hi, it's good to be here.
Appreciate the time.
Absolutely, thanks for having us.
Good to see you again.
Same.
As we were saying off camera, I was at your listening party earlier this year at some Stagecoach event, which is so crazy. I imagine that for you, it must have been pretty wild to reconnect with fans, especially in that type of venue.
Yeah, and it feels like it was also yesterday, but ages ago.
Yeah.
I mean, the album has only been out for like 6 months now, which still feels very fresh. But yeah, being able to like play the record for fans before it came out in the desert was really special.
It was.
Yeah, and it also was very fitting for the style of music as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, the DJ was spinning, and then there was the palm trees everywhere, and you were saging people. And what was that all about? Like,
Well, there's a lyric in one of the songs called I Don't Know What It Is, talking about like saging every doorway, specifically in this house that I had just moved into, to kind of like get a good energy going and
cleanse the home of its past.
Yeah. And so we kind of were like, it might be fun to like sage fans and each other at this listening party. And people were actually really into it. We only got a couple people that were like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, most people were really into it. It was a sweet event, and I think it was a beautiful setting for that record to be played. Outside, by the water, by the pool, in the desert. People were excited to be there. Aly and I had curated all these beautiful like flowers, these floral activations kind of around us that were really, really beautiful. It was a fun day.
and now you guys are on tour. We're catching you guys on the tail end of the tour,
Yeah.
which is crazy. I've been watching some of the videos and things, and the Halloween show was crazy, and dressing up as the cowbells.
That was
I'm
hilarious.
sure a lot of fans were super jealous, like, why wasn't I there? Why aren't they doing this at every show and things like that? I'm sure you guys planned that.
We did. The goal is that we would do that from now on at every Halloween show we play. So if we happen to play a gig on Halloween, we will come as cows.
Yeah, what's it been like? And describe for me the reaction in terms of touring again and the new material and the reception.
It's felt so good. I mean, I really think this record just sits so well in a live space. I think that's Aly and I's intention every time we put out a record, is that the touring will translate in a really beautiful way. And I'm just really proud of this show sonically and visually. Our band is amazing. Our crew is incredible. It's been one of my favorite tours we've ever done. We've done a lot of tours. But the fans are they're here to have a good time. It's like the goal is that people feel really uplifted and that they feel surrounded by, a safe community when they're at our shows. And the VIP experience is really special and kind of, gives an ode to the 20-year anniversary of Into the Rush, which has been a really special moment this year. And the new song just really translates beautifully on stage. For the first time, we have a projector behind us, projecting not only, the current footage from the show, but old footage from our past from 20 years ago. So it's very much like a beautiful storytelling event. And I'm just really proud of these songs live. It's been a great tour.
Would you say that the new material and even the past few projects are kind of a bridge to the adult version of Aly and AJ?
Yeah, very much so.
And I think we needed all those albums to get to where we are now and to make the music we're making now. I also kind of feel like that 10-year gap was also needed for us to really grow into the artists we are today. And I know that we still have a lot of, future records in us that will continue to like progress in our sound and our taste. But I really believe that like just making this album, Silver Deliverer, in Topanga with Jonathan Wilson was just a real game changer for, I think, us as musicians and as artists and sisters. And it's really our most personal record to date. If I was to really kind of line them all up, I would say that Silver Deliverer is like the most specific when it comes to the storytelling.
The most intimate, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you referenced the 10-year break. It feels like that would have been a good time for one of you to perhaps even branch out and do your own thing. Were there ever any thoughts of just an Aly project or an Amanda Joy project?
Never really had thought to go do music and pursue that as solo careers, but definitely as actors. In that 10-year gap, Aly and I were doing our own thing as actors. We were both on television shows for years, and music had never gone away for us. We were always writing and kind of working on music secretly, but just not ready to put anything out. And I think when 2017 hit, we were just like, we're ready to really define who we are now as adults. But yeah, never really pursued the solo thing, but definitely continued to work on music just privately.
Because you always hear about that, bands, duos. Daryl
lot
Hall
of
went
people
on
do
his
that.
own. He was Daryl Hall.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I always respect the bands that feel like they need to do that, and that's maybe an outlet for them to kind of be creative in a different way from the music that they're kind of known for. But I also have a lot of respect for the bands that have stuck together, and the frontman or the lead singers have never branched off and done their own thing. I also think that's really cool, that they just know the magic is here and why change it. So we always kind of say, like, why fix it if it ain't broke?
Right. Anthony Kiedis never really did an Anthony Kiedis project on his own, really.
Yeah, no, there's plenty of people that never really branched off, and then the people that have, it's cool that they got to experience that, but a lot of times they come back to their band, to their home base, so it's interesting.
You mentioned meeting fans during the VIP meet and greets and whatnot, and I'm sure there's been a lot of memorable moments. Is there one that really sticks out to you?
I think for us, a lot of it is hearing that the music connected with people when they were feeling lonely or lost or not accepted, and that now they can come to the show and kind of heal this inner child at our show in real time and get this kind of like 360 circle, this like full circle completion that they've been kind of wishing and wanting. And I think that's really beautiful.
Yeah, there was a fan recently who came to a show a couple nights ago. Her name's Lacey, and her husband brought her. And he mentioned it was really cool to see my wife as a 10-year-old girl again. And obviously he didn't know her when she was 10, but he was like, I got this glimpse into what it would be like for her to listen to Into the Rush for the first time, because I saw it in real time, but she's an adult now. And I was like, that's such a beautiful thing to say as a husband, that you kind of saw this glimpse of your wife as a young kid. So it's been really powerful. Things like that, comments like that really resonate with us. And 20 years is no joke. You know, we wrote that record 22 years ago. So the fact that, you know, the album has had its 20-year anniversary, it feels like we're dinosaurs in some ways, but it also is like, I also feel like I'm brand new to the industry in some ways, because I'm so proud of this material. It feels like the first record we've put out. But yeah, it's beautiful to look back on that album.
It's got to be wild to have had such an impact on so many people that were probably the same age as you or even younger. Totally. And now to meet them in person and them to express how much you meant to them. But you're also adults, and you're kind of like almost in the same phase of your lives, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of our fans are now married or having kids or maybe dealing with a divorce, and we're all in that same, you know, early to mid 30s gap, and we all grew up together. I mean, people always joke, we grew up with you, and we're like, we grew up with you too. It's cool. It goes both ways.
Where does the well of inspiration continue to?
I think we'll always find inspiration, whether that's from our own personal life experiences or just what's going on in the world. I think, you know, hopefully when you think of Aly and AJ, you think of us as sisters, but you also think of the things that we stand for, whether that's something we stand for politically or, you know, an organization that we're heavily linked with, or, you know, just a personal story that we're sharing with our fans. So I think we'll continue to pull from that well. And a lot of times it's going to be personal, and then other times it's going to be, you know, some new outlook that we have from maybe a friend or even an experience with a stranger, you know, on the street. So I don't really see that going away anytime soon. And I hope that songwriting stays with us as long as we're around, as long as we're here.
I think there's an endless well there for sure.
That's good to hear, because sometimes people do obviously hit writer's block.
Yeah.
It's no secret. But then at the same time, they want to try to stay in their lane and appease the fans that, you know, grew up with potential breakup song, and they want to continue hearing about relationship type songs and those kind of things. And they don't allow artists to try to stray or go.
Yeah, that's true. I actually feel like we've been really lucky. Our fans have been really, really open to seeing where Aly and I head next, and they followed us. It's kind of like this river. It's like, it's not always going to be the same stuff that you've heard, you know, 20 years ago, 18 years ago, 15 years ago. It's changed, and our fans have really grown to respect that and embrace it. Yeah. It's really neat.
And sonically, obviously, this new sound, so to speak, is definitely familiar. There's this resurgence in a way. There's other artists that have kind of tapped into the Laurel Canyon folk rock 70s vibe, if you will. Do you think you'll continue that?
Yeah, I think so. I do too. I think that music is just timeless. So it doesn't really surprise me that people continue to go back and are inspired by it. I think it's kind of endless. So I can see us continuing to make music that is rooted in where we're from, which is, you know, California rock music, and West Coast vibes, you know, all the way. So I do believe that that is always going to be a part of our sound.
I love the vibe. I mean, I totally resonate with that. There's, again, like so many artists that have done that, like I said, like Wolf Alice just released an album, they're out of the UK.
Yeah.
And they spent a lot of time in LA with Greg Kirsten, who's this amazing producer, and they just sort of just through osmosis, just channeled a lot of the Glenn Campbell, Pentangle type vibes and so forth. So for you guys to absorb that and then just randomly do sound check or whatever it was in Seattle on the streets.
Oh, yeah. At Pike Place, which we grew up going to. I mean, we lived in Seattle. We were born in California and raised there, but we lived in Seattle for 7 years as kids. So we had a really cool moment at the start of the tour where we were like, you know, we're going to go busk at Pike Place, where we kind of grew up and where it kind of all started for us. And it was a really neat moment with fans.
Was that your idea? Was that something just spur of the moment?
We've done it now.
We've done it a few times on
like,
this tour.
I don't know, like we've done it like 8-10 times.
Yeah.
I think.
We're gonna make it a thing.
Cities, but I think it's like really fun, and it's a cool way to like surprise fans when we roll up into a city and we have enough time before sound check.
An outdoor sound check.
Amazing. Well, wish we would have done one here in San Francisco.
I know. I wish we had to.
Fisherman's Wharf right next to Bushman.
Oh man, that'd be
Perfect.
We're doing this at the tail end of the tour. You guys are obviously going to settle in at home for the holidays. Greatest time of year. It's going to start playing again and things like that. Do you think there's going to be an Aly and AJ holiday extravaganza at some point, or maybe a recorded collection?
Well, we have an EP.
Yeah, we do have a holiday EP, Lonesome Dove, that is beautiful.
That'll be out again.
Compilation of a few songs that we're going to re-release this year. And, you know, we'll always have Acoustic Hearts of Winter. I know our fans are really dedicated to that album, which is very sweet. I would love to do something down the road that's like an Aly and AJ holiday special, whether that's like a variety show or something we could do on Disney Plus, or I don't know. I think it'd be a fun look inside our lives now that Aly's a mom and I'm an aunt, and you know, we're both still as close as ever, but also we're, you know, getting older and our stories changed, and it would be an interesting kind of look into our lives during the holidays.
I like how you said variety show.
It'd be cute, right?
I can totally see that.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, how old is your son now? He's a
year and a half.
Almost 2, right?
Yeah.
So he can just sort of wobble around.
Exactly.
Yeah, it could be cute.
Do you do skits at home to entertain him and things?
I mean, yeah, he's like the most outgoing kid ever.
He is a massive extrovert.
Yeah.
I don't even think we need to do skits to keep him.
Yeah, he's like,
he creates his own.
Fully entertained on his own, yeah.
All you gotta do is put on some music and he's
obsessed.
He's
with
off
music.
and running and putting on a show.
Yeah. Oh, always.
He's going to have his own TikTok at some point.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, no.
We'll try to hold off on that as long as possible.
Yes, amen.
So good to see you guys.
You too.
Really
You too.
appreciate
Thanks for
the
having
time.
us.
Being here.
And happy holidays and
Happy
all the
holidays.
things.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Aly and AJ right here on B-Sides.